what is up, what is good? It's Bloom. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you doing? There's a lot going on right now in the whole kind of drama world, YouTube drama world, and there's also some other stuff that I want to be getting into in other videos. But this video today is going to be a little bit of beauty drama mixed in with a little bit of drag race drama. So if you like that kind of thing, stick around. I'm going to be sat here continuing to paint my face. I've just put a little bit of foundation, concealer, bronzer on, so I'm going to continue adding stuff to my face while we chat throughout this video. So I think we should grab some blush. So I'm going to grab the shade Can't Cope with Coral in Mitchell's blush, made by Mitchell, that's the brand. So I'm going to start off with that while we start getting into the tea. Now, recently Nikkie Tutorials uploaded a video that was her doing the power of makeup on Adele. The internet went wild. Of course, it's Adele. A lot of people love Adele. They love Adele's music. So understandably, you know, and it's great to see somebody like Nikkie Tutorials get an opportunity to paint Adele. You know, like, that was Nikkie Tutorials' dream. Nikkie has spoken about it on Instagram and stuff, you know, saying that it was her dream to paint Adele, and now that's happened. Where does she go from here? Well, she's talked about how she would like for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to paint her. Now, I think that would be really, really fun to watch. But also, in Nikkie's video with Adele, people were pointing out that Nikkie was a little bit shady to the brand Charlotte Tilbury, because when Nikkie was painting Adele, she pulled out her own Nimya brand primer to put on Adele, and she said it's like the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, but better. So people looked at that clip and said, oh, Nikkie, you're being a little bit shady there. I don't know if it is shade. You know, Nikkie's got her own brand now. So at the end of the day, she's going to try and promote her own brand, you know. But people picked up on it, saying that it was shady, you know, of course, as people do. But, you know, at the end of the day, Nikkie Tutorials is somebody who's been on YouTube doing makeup for years upon years. I think it's been like over 11 years now that Nikkie's been on this platform consistently uploading beauty content, makeup content. But why we're here is I want to go back to January of 2020. Nikkie Tutorials made a video that pretty much broke the internet when she uploaded a video that was her basically coming out as being transgender. Now, in this video, Nikkie mentioned that she'd been blackmailed. She felt like she'd been put up to coming out by somebody, and nobody knew who that person was. But at the time, there was something that was a little bit weird. There was something that was a little bit shady on the behalf of Jared Blandino, the owner of Too Faced Cosmetics' sister. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But Nikkie recently uploaded a TikTok that was her saying, oh, basically, F you to the person who tried to blackmail me into coming out, because now look at me, I've got my own brand, I'm doing much better, ha ha ha, you didn't win, kind of thing. Gonna grab a palette out now and start doing my eyes. So I'm gonna grab this pricked palette and do something kind of, I don't know, fall-like. I know we're going into winter, Christmas, but you know, I'm in the mood to do something kind of maybe a bit fall-like today, so that is what we're gonna do. So when Nikkie Tutorials put this TikTok on her Twitter, people started speculating on who it could have been, asking her to expose the person who blackmailed her. All this stuff was underneath the post on Twitter, and I looked at it, and there was one or two people who thought they knew who it was. Somebody suggested that it might have even been Jeffree Star, which I really don't think is the case. But if you remember back to Nikkie's coming out video, there was some kind of drama back then where it was Jared Blandino and his sister. Jared Blandino, if you don't know, is of course the owner of Too Faced Cosmetics. So Jared Blandino and his sister were involved in this. because Jared Blandino's sister at the time put something up on Instagram. When Nikkie released that video, she took to her Instagram, Jared Blandino's sister, and said, oh, that's not all Nikkie's lying about. So there was a little bit of controversy that never really got talked about there. So following on from that, Jared Blandino went to his Instagram, made a statement saying that he didn't condone his sister's actions in being a bit transphobic towards Nikkie, all this kind of stuff, you know, accusing Nikkie Tutorials of lying. He took to his Instagram and said he didn't stand by his sister's actions and that he would then be firing her from the cosmetic brand. But there's actually a little bit more to this situation because, of course, in 2016, Nikkie Tutorials had a palette that was a collaboration with the brand Too Faced. So Nikkie had actually worked with the Too Faced brand, and they had actually really treated her badly because they didn't actually pay her correctly for the collaboration. Nikkie got a flat rate instead of getting a percentage of the actual palette. She got a flat rate, and that was that. This was something that was talked about in the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star documentary, you know, The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star or something like that it was called. If you remember rightly, you know, it was talked about. Jeffree Star actually talked about it in that documentary with Shane Dawson. He talked about the fact that Too Faced had scammed Nikkie when it came to the payment, the money for this collaboration that they did together, Too Faced and Nikkie Tutorials. So that, coupled with the fact that Jared Blandino's sister Danny was very, very like mean and kind of transphobic towards Nikkie Tutorials after her coming out video, leads me into thinking that it absolutely might have had something to do with Too Faced being behind the fact that Nikkie Tutorials was blackmailed into coming out. But because of the way that Jared Blandino and his sister acted, I have to believe that they were the ones behind Nikkie's coming out. They were the ones who had blackmailed Nikkie Tutorials into coming out. I have to believe that because at the end of the day, she worked with them. They screwed her over. So it just makes total sense, you know, and it's kind of shocking to me that nobody has really ever talked about this. But at the same time, Nikkie herself has never, ever revealed who it was that blackmailed her into coming out. She's never said, you know, who it was. She said he in the TikToks, so that would give you like his gender. So it's a man. So Jared Blandino and his sister, my money's on them. It is them who were behind forcing Nikkie into coming out. Okay, but we're going to move on because I'm going to talk about Drag Race. Now, I hate talking about Drag Race. Honestly, for me, I like drag. Drag Race doesn't represent all the types of drag that I actually want to see as a queer person. I really don't think it caters to the queer community anymore. But Drag Race has been in the news because they have just cast their first heterosexual male contestant. Now, this has upset a lot of people in the transgender community because, of course, Drag Race is yet to have a drag king on the show. So people understandably are pissed that they've given a place to a heterosexual man before they've given it to any other queer person, particularly a drag king or another AFAB queen, you know, assigned female at birth queen. There's a lot of drama surrounding this, so I'm going to include somebody else's thoughts because I think it's only right that we should hear from queer people who are actually affected by this kind of stuff. You know, I can sit here and talk about it, but to be honest with you, it's much better coming from somebody who this actually affects. So I'm going to hand over to somebody called Prince Tayo. Now, Prince Tayo is a drag queen who works in drag, you know, performs in drag. This is their career. This is his career. This is what he does. He is a trans man and drag king. So I'm going to include some Instagram story clips from him because I think that people should hear what the trans community have to say when it comes to things like this, you know, jobs being taken from transgender people and queer people that could be given to them but are taken up by a heterosexual man.
Absolutely. This is a joke. And fucking joke. You drag queens, you big fucking betties, have absolutely no leg to stand on it. From time they are letting a heterosexual cis white man, like the epitome of patriarchy, the face of capitalism, the face of privilege, you have given fucking demographic space in something that's supposed to be queer. I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed for people who still have the nerve to talk about Drag Race. I'm embarrassed for you. It's embarrassing. You've got your demographic of straight girls and straight people, because fucking hell, you got straight men hopping out of running the banks and coming into our queer spaces like, I just want to show that straight people can do drag. Look what you've done. Look what you fucking white drag queens who have been doing this for 4 months have fucking endorsed. You and RuPaul holding hands. Time to get up and do the moment fucking brunch. But I'll say it before and I'll say it again. You I have no respect for you. No respect. You've literally welcomed the oppressor to the table and now you want to act shocked. Are you shocked, babe? Are you shocked? That means you haven't been listening. If you are shocked that a straight cis white man was able to go on Drag Race, the biggest drag platform in the fucking world, before a drag king, before more assumed female at birth, if you are shocked, then you haven't been listening, my friend. You've been gaslighting us from day one. Don't come round me like, they got a straight man. Have you seen fucking acting all pissed? Bitch, when we've been screaming this for ages, I've been telling you they care about straight people more than they care about us. You want to welcome the oppressor before you welcome the people who built the fucking community. Fuck RuPaul, fuck Drag Race, and you lot need to do the opposite to that phrase, grow some balls. Cause I don't know, so many cis drag queens, out here lip syncing about pussy power, pussy talented, it do cartwheels, work this pussy, good puss, my neck. Stop singing about pussy and actually champion it. Stop lip syncing songs about people who are like, my pussy fucking popping, when all your language is misogynistic and you don't want to champion pussy, you want to take up space. That's why you let this straight heterosexual white man take up space and have a career opportunity of a lifetime before you're willing to genuinely help people with pussies thrive. Do you think I like talking about how we're treated differently based on anatomy? Nah, then stop doing it. People here are all for trans rights until it's time to talk about the overlap between drag, being trans, and the double standards in this industry. It's a very complex topic because we are not always treated how we identify and we are not always read how we identify. And because of those things, how you identify and how you are read don't usually correlate. That's why in the fucking industry, even though I'm the buffest man that fucking is, you lot treated me like some pussy clot woman because the misogyny is rife. But if we have a very palatable, white, able-bodied, thin drag queen who is non-binary, let's say, they, as a trans individual, are treated with so much more respect than someone like myself. I'm really just gonna need you lot to start holding up placards like you do for Snatch Game, but instead of the name of the person you're impersonating, just put I hate women, because at the core of drag is misogyny. And how drag kings are treated and trans people are treated, be them trans men, trans women, non-binary people, everything comes back to misogyny and this like inherent hatred that cis gay men have always had towards women and vaginas. The gag though is this. Fucking girls that made my life hell in school because they thought I was a fucking lesbian. Those ones that would take the piss out of me, and probably the boys that called you a batty man, hun. These people are now in our space. So the space that was sold to us as a dream for all the people weird and wonderful, for all the queers, the drag that I fell in love with, watching Drag Race. I got into drag watching Drag Race. That's why it's fucking heartbreaking every time they do me like this. Fuck my identity, fuck my drag, fuck my skin, fuck my body.
Now, the reason that I say I hate talking about Drag Race is because to me the show has become boring, stale and kind of redundant. It doesn't represent our community. It doesn't represent the queer community as we are. Look at what they're doing now, giving a place to a straight man, you know. Yes, fine, everybody is allowed to do drag, of course, you know, there's no gatekeeping, whatever. Everyone can do drag. You know, if they want to. If they want to throw on a wig, pair of heels and feel fabulous, whatever, you know, I'm all for it. But the fact that it's a television show that is essentially about queer people, and they've now given a spot to a cisgender, heterosexual man, when there are so many assigned female at birth queens out there who've been working on the scene for ages, when there are so many drag kings out there, people like Louis Cypher, Prince Chayo, you know, Mark Anthony. There are loads and loads of drag kings out there who deserve an opportunity to be on that platform, but keep getting overlooked, consistently overlooked by RuPaul, by World of Wonder, by Drag Race, you know, and it just sucks, you know. So for me personally, I prefer to actually watch Dragula as a drag show. I think that is a much better representation of both the queer community, of alternative drag, you know, so that is my jam. I watch that. I don't watch Drag Race. I gave up on it seasons ago, honestly. I was like, nah, I'm not seeing what I want to see represented in drag, so fuck it, I gave up on it, you know. Okay, my loves, that is it from me on this little video. Sorry it's been a bit of a long-winded one, but hope you can bear with me. Also, if you didn't see, over on my community tab, I've put a little announcement on there about a giveaway that I'm going to be doing for if or when I get to 1,000 subscribers. You know, I didn't start my YouTube channel to be famous or any of that shit. I started it because I love makeup and I like talking and all of that. You know, it's just something that I do for me mainly. But, you know, I will also share my platform with people. YouTube is my biggest social media platform. You know, this is where I've got the most followers. So for me, I will share this platform to put across things that I think are either important, funny, you know, or things that I think need attention. Like, there's something going on right now with one of the big bosses at PlayStation. So I'm going to be making a video on that later. But for now, if you do want to check out the giveaway, it's over on my community tab. How to enter is up on there. So, love you guys so much. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. You really do mean a lot to me. Your support means a lot to me, and I decided to plan this giveaway a little while ago as something that I can do to give back to you guys for you supporting me. So I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Let me know what you think about all the drama with Nikkie tutorials and Too Faced Cosmetics, and also Drag Race. Let me know your opinion on them, you know, giving a spot to a straight cisgender white man. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.